can't always guarantee you these things. I can't always promise you these things. But if there's one thing I could rest assured on, it's the fact that over time, most likely in every scenario of every best of 3 that I'm going to see this year, and especially in this one, 19-17 complexity, really getting it done here on the second map of Nuke. Of course, we couldn't go without the knives. We couldn't go without some of the flashy stuff from the Fnatic side as they do find themselves going to Mirage in the third and final decider. I want to bring it back here, centralized and focused on the desk. That is including my friends Matthew and Christine. We're ready to talk a little bit of counter. Christine, let's talk about this complexity team.
Yeah, let's talk about him. I mean, my gosh, Config. He just showed up right at the perfect moment to just say, you know, I'm not going to let my team lose this round. And then having Poison showing up, especially in the OT. You know, I think Poison had more scout kills in this series so far instead of the AWP. And then he finally stepped up. He finally showed up and started closing out those rounds. But I got to say, Fnatic, I mean, there were so many moments in this Nuke game where they actually were postured and positioned to run away with this map, multiple 2v5s. Think about that pistol where Config, just heroic moments. But let's be honest, Fnatic, they should have been able to convert that. They should have been able to close that one out. And Brolin, I mean, he did so much work for Fnatic in that upper yard, just trying to hold down the fort. But it's one of those things where Fnatic, once again, having those same issues where their teamwork, it's not connecting at the end of the day.
It's the config and oboe shows what we're seeing. Maniac, I look at this and I think, okay, how many times did you see someone get smoked outside through the smoke? I'm just curious because it just seemed like a back and forth trading affair. The smoke seemingly had almost no impact from time to time. Talk to me a little about what you saw in this matchup, Maniac.
I thought you were going to ask me about seeing through smokes. I really didn't know how to measure that one.
Can you see through smokes?
No, I cannot, unfortunately. That was a problem we had earlier in the days of Counter-Strike, so I cannot. But listen, back to the game, I think there was a difference in terms of like mastery of the map. Definitely Complexity knows the map a little bit better. They're more used to it. Their protocols are better. Because even though the score is very close and very tight, Fnatic's way of winning rounds was through brute force, through Broly, pick up outside, just rushing, flusher jumping down main, Golden coming in mini again. Whereas Complexity, they were more in control. And I think this echoes what Christian said. Fnatic, they lost a few rounds they shouldn't have. This is what happens when you're not really comfortable with the maps and situations just slip out of your hands. The problem is for Complexity, when you move over to Mirage, that is finito. That is done. Bye-bye. Adios. No more problem for Fnatic like that.
So it looks like that's already been decided in Maniac's mind. Now, Christina, I look at you and you have this sort of smirk about you that tells me you might differ.
You know, I do differ. I think Fnatic's whole game plan on Mirage is very Crims dependent and Flusha double opping towards that B. But speaking a little bit about Crims, he's a very cerebral player and his aim, I don't think it's completely back yet. So I think if he has a good game towards that connector on Mirage, sure, Fnatic, they're going to be postured, but I don't think BlameF is going to let that happen. He's not going to let Crims take a moment to even breathe towards that connector. So I still have full confidence in this Complexity squad.
Okay. And you know, Maniac, I look at that. What do you have to say in the inverse? What's on the other side of that?
First of all, I didn't know that we could touch the sacred institution that is Creams. Okay, apparently everything is on the line now. We can criticize Creams, it's insane.
Okay.
No, listen, I agree. Creams has been a little bit quiet, but the problem is there's another one named Brolin that actually is an absolute machine on the A side. He will just rain absolute chaos on that A ramp, the A apps, and if on the side of Complexity the flashes aren't good, the smokes aren't good, that's going to be it. Brolin in the face.
And that's all it takes. Christine, I would love to know just a little bit more in detail here of just how Complexity can do it, but I would much rather see them do it in the server. So we're going to look at a break, we're going to come back, and we're going to settle this series. One of the first playoff games here of the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It's DreamHack Masters, and we're in the playoffs, a whole week of Counter-Strike. Of course, you haven't had enough here in the last few months, but we're here bringing more, and we're bringing Complexity, taking on Fnatic. A third map, Harry, it's Mirage. What are you feeling? What are you expecting coming into this final map?
Well, you know, I think thus far, right, we've seen some good things from either team. I think that the fact that, right, we have players like Config looking really good back on Nuke. We had BlameF and Poison coming alive, really, I think, across both maps thus far. I want to keep seeing more from Poison, right? I feel like when you see him in the server and you feel him with the AWP, you really know his presence. But there's just times where he can go a little bit quiet. Luckily enough, I think, though, JW kind of falls into that same category right now, right? So I want to see more from either of the AWPs heading into this third map. And honestly, Hugo, if you want to ask me for predictions, I don't know where to put my money on this one. I kind of agree with Betway in that this has just been such a back and forth series, such a 50-50 affair. Maybe I would edge it to Fnatic ever so slightly just because they are able to get nuked to OT, right? They get it so close. But man, I really don't know. Like, either team deserves it at this point. And this is a very, very fast pistol round here from Complexity. They barrel down through mid. They get BlameF up through the connector. The bomb's going down, and it's a 5v5 retake in the A bomb site.
Yeah, by design for Fnatic, maybe they weren't expecting these positions, but now they've got to deal with them on the retake. Crim's a quick kill, but there's another man in con that Golden makes quick work off from the flank. This is lovely for Fnatic. They're winning every single battle, and it's not going to be much on Complexity's side to stop them. Plant does come through, which will provide money, but that is all that Complexity have, and Fnatic have even more, keeping players alive even with untouched armor too in JW and Golden. So easy upgrades. Head armor is cheap, and rifles can follow that. That's always, you know, the dream of anyone winning a CT-sided pistol round is just getting away, or any pistol round, getting away with 100 Kevlar after the fact. Worth noting, right, we saw Complexity run an 8-win streak on Nuke, now extended to 9 after that victory. Fnatic on Mirage, they're on a 5-loss streak, and so that's something that is not good to read, you know, as of late in 2020 for this team. So let's hope that doesn't hold them back, because not really the most competitive games either, and the majority of these versus, you know, top-tier opposition. So right now, Cole forcing in the second round. They want to put a stop to this Fnatic economy while they can.
They'll tiptoe round and they'll set up outside of the A bomb site, but bear in mind, Flusher playing close to ramp here on the other side. He's actually pushed up and into it now. How much can he get away with in this position? Flash goes in, but Flash is not blind from it. It's a little too shallow to blind him, and so he gets away with 2 kills, now calling for the rotation as well. Crims is playing this position back towards CT with the hope that he can just duck out once he gets his first bit of contact. Plant looking to come through, and Golden is not able to deny it. Crims has been bested as well, but JW does rear his head up from CT and leaves this in the advantage of Fnatic. Config followed up onto, and it's BlameF with this hero AK in a 1v3. Not going to happen today as Brolin sticks the defuse. Fnatic, they will get that conversion on the board, but a bomb plant for Complexity and a bit of damage done does leave them with the option to partial buy around this AK, right? Still have a pretty good chance in this round with armor, with pistols upgraded, and then get away with a buy heading into round number 4.
Yeah, I mean, Golden tries to spam the smoke to stop the plant, but unfortunately isn't able to. I don't think I can name a player better at successfully doing that than Flusher. Obviously, he's on the ramp, so he dies early, gets away with 2. Great work, but you know, this guy is so good at stopping bomb plants in the A site. Any wide plants, right? Reverse default in front of triple, backside triple. Flusher knows it, and he's gonna shoot the smoke if he's jungle. So that's always a scary one. Golden won't stop it, but the defuse comes in anyway, like you said, and Fnatic at least starting this map off strong. Both teams on this map, if you look at the numbers, are 51-49 in percentage to the CT side. So very, very close and very, very similar. It means we should certainly have a competitive game on our hands. Complexity, they make these rounds close, but close doesn't cut it. And now an eco will have to do, as Blame has this saved AK, pistols around it. We've certainly seen rounds like this being won by either team across the series. So let's see what Blame could accomplish. Config doesn't realize there's 2 players, and the repeat combined with the grenade will send him flying. Flusher, oh my, he just balls his steel, climbs up the ladder looking at Poison, and shoots him in the face once he reaches the balcony. Fnatic, ooh, they may lose Brolin, but surely this is still their round.
Yeah, you'd think so. BlameF's AK maybe looks to...
okay.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it just goes exactly as we think it will. Fnatic, they'll go 3-0 up. And now we have this buy round coming on in. Poison, critically as well, has enough to get an AWP with armor behind it. So we get to see that nice and early here for Complexity. JW not going to be donning his on the other side, and so there's a chance at a free upgrade for Fnatic in that sense. Poison tries to come in with the ramp peak, and someone does run the gauntlet. Flush is able to get on by. Lots of mid-aggression here from Fnatic. They are keen to take these fights. And while Blaine getting that trade, putting it back into a 4-on-4. And while all this has been going on, while Fnatic have shown this heavy mid presence, they sneak out into the A site on the complexity side, but it might be to their dismay. Golden and Flusher, they've dealt with this push amicably, and Flusher's looking for even more. Now, will he be ready for rush close? No. He's given that kill away, and with it a 2-on-2. Complexity, they were needing Fnatic to give them a trade over, and that is exactly what's provided. Now with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, the time's in their favor. A 2-on-2 leans favorably to them as well, and so they're just going to sit back and wait. They're going to make Fnatic work for this information, for anything to go off of.
Yeah, and while this looks like a problem right now for Fnatic, it could actually be a prize. It could win them the round because this flank from Golden is so well timed, and Blame starts throwing utility right as Golden gets into position. Golden, he's going to pull his knife out and run. He is safe on this flank, and Complexity, as long as they don't kill Brolin on short, who is going to remain alive thanks to the con smoke, just keeping their attention and allowing Golden to go all the way round. He goes Palace as well. This will take longer, but will have better results. And with Complexity planting on the other side of triple, maybe it's not the plant that Golden wanted, but still fights available. Man in the connector, caught by Rush. Golden has the info on one, and he does rid him of the round as well. Does he know Blame is not playing the bomb? He's on the other side, and that's going to provide a lot of question marks for Golden on where this final player is. I think he's realized the plant as well. That should make him think jungle, and you can see him looking away as Blame goes out for the fight. I like that from Blame. He doesn't wait on the tap. He gets the info. He knows Golden's in the site panicking, and he just swings out and kills him. So yeah, you could see that realization for Golden, certainly, that like, oh wait, he's not planted where I think he's planted. Where could he possibly be? And yeah, maybe Flusher making the crucial error of pushing ramp there at the worst possible time. He obviously misses a very unlucky timing where he looks away from ramp and Rush crosses into the left corner, but it will win Cole their first round, getting them on the board nice and early.
Yeah, it's always upsetting to have it slip through your fingers like that, right? You know that, you know, it's like one of those deaths where in hindsight you're like, man, why did I push ramp? Like, why did that happen? And now for Fnatic, they have to try and bounce back. Luckily for them, they still have money, and this A site might have fallen, but Fnatic, they kind of set up for this. They were playing retake. Poison gets flashed through though. He's sick and tired of waiting around, and we'll get one kill, but that is it before he's traded. So now we're into this 4-on-4. And this is where Fnatic are going to slow things down, albeit briefly. They're going to recompose and get back into this one now on the retake. There's an ult for Golden that he could look to pick up. Flusher in through CT, gets that trade onto Config, and taps the bomb to try and bait these peaks, but they still haven't dealt with all the players in this site. Obo's popping off. Ooh, he gets 3.
I was going to say, any damaging grenades there for Fnatic would have been excellent, because they could have caught Obo at the back of the site, like 10 health, tucked in, hiding, and, you know, Molly and HG, that could win Fnatic the round there, but, well, quite literally is the opposite of that, is that undoing, as Obo on 10 health locks in 3 kills in the post-plant. Excellent work. How does he kill Crims? He doesn't even see him. He just shoots him through the pillar, and, yeah, he'll take it. Flusher has more kills on Mirage than Obo has career kills. I don't see, that sounds like it's crazy, but it really shouldn't be crazy. Like that makes a lot of sense. Flusher, he's played his fair share of Counter-Strike carry. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to meet someone who disagrees, right? Like, because just objectively, you're wrong. But yeah, you know, I always find those stats interesting though, right? Because it just shows like just how long a guy like Flusher has been around on these top levels. And it also is an exciting prospect because you look at someone like Obo and he's able to consistently go toe-to-toe with the best, it feels like. So
yeah.
Now we look into this round, and there's just no money for Fnatic. It's down to these pistols. That little streak in the beginning that they're able to get on the back of winning the pistol, you know, doesn't keep your money. Oh goodness, that nade! Oh, yikes! Everyone in window is looking terribly hurt. Look at this. There's a swarm of Swedes, and well, how do you deal with the swarm? You call these exterminators. Complexity, they're going to shut down absolutely everyone. There is a bit of damage done with just the vanilla pistols, right? You get away with 2 kills. One of them being onto Poison, and you know, you're happy with that if you're Fnatic. You put nothing into that round, you do a bit of the damage, and now you have an investment coming into round number 7.
There's still no AWP for Fnatic though, obviously with them just breaking that streak from Cole. Or, well, no, just buying off the back of the streak from Cole, rather. A quick shot from Poison won't connect, allowing the cross towards jungle safely. JW making the window jump up on ladder to control the short area. He can support B and obviously rotate very fast back to his position, but no one's in middle for Cole. No one's pushing that position. Brolin backed out at either the worst or best possible time, depending how you look at that. He would have had a fight onto Obo that probably he would have won, but not armed for the job and wanting to keep things in a 5-on-5. So Fnatic won't force any kills. They wait for Complexity to come to them. With that bomb getting picked back up in T-spawn plus mid-control getting taken, Cole is setting up for a bit of a split here. The site still in question. Looks like A, but Blame is taking his sweet time holding this ramp position for any aggression. We have seen that in the past from Flusher, and right now he's just tucked under balcony. Nice little grenade onto Obo, but this is just everything for Complexity, setting up for an A-take, trying to push Fnatic out of position and split window. There's that play from JW, traded from Config, and info should be going in the hands of Fnatic. They should know exactly what's going on right now.
Oh, Golden makes quick work of Poison as well, and these rotations have come in towards A. Golden continuing to put up these numbers, continuing to keep this in the advantage of Fnatic, and piece by piece, the Complexity squad are getting dismantled. It's all left onto Blame F. And while he does get away with one, he's not ready for the quick repeak from CT. So Fnatic, they find that 4th round, they get it locked in. Stellar work from Golden over towards Catwalk, and yeah, it's very deserving of this replay. They were trying to come in with like that 2-pronged split through connector and then out through Palace and ramp as well. And him just dealing with the connector side of it allows those players in CT to pick and choose those fights into the A bomb site. They don't have to worry about getting flanked. They don't have to worry about anyone getting into any forward positions. So the round just unravels, and now we have this investment back in from Complexity, but you'll note it's very, very lackluster. They've gone for it because, you know, they were double econ some of these guys anyway, and then they had more cash on others, but this doesn't leave them with a hell of a lot to work with here in round number 8.
Yeah, you talk about like prioritization of fights there with you know, Golden dealing with connector players and Fnatic knowing which fights they can and which fights they can't take. Well, like that's something that goes in line with that stat Elliot just brought up, right? Like Flush has played this map more than Obo has played Counter-Strike, and so you know, Fnatic they've played every conceivable round that you can imagine, every type of split setup or strategy that Cole are going to run. Fnatic have seen it before, and so they're going to know, you know, what to do when they see certain smokes. Now it's a B rush. Fnatic, they're stacked here. They're 3 men in the site, and after that kill from JW, he'll push into B to try and help out this crossfire. It might not need the help. JW, Brolin, Golden, everyone putting up numbers, and it is a mow-down for Fnatic, not a death inside of the B bomb site. In Complexity, they go quiet elsewhere. That only leans Fnatic into that B stack. Nice read, nice shot, and no loss for the Swedes. It's going to keep them in control of this map for the time being, breaking the money of Cole once again. This one is just a bit of a sleeper, I would say. Just P2, or Glocks rather, and a solo Deagle on config. Good luck.
Yeah, they sent Poison with the bomb up into Palace, and I think just wanting to drop him out into the site later on to try and get the plant. But with Config getting out of ramp with this Deeg, it's called for a bit of a rotation from Fnatic. And so they abandon the hope of getting this bomb down over here towards A. They spot that this rotation has come through, and so they'll send the bomb back into B. However, in doing so, you walk into Brolin, and he's just sat here ready and waiting. He'll lock it down. Lock on Obo, don't fancy his chances, so Fnatic, they'll get that 6th round on the board. Not the end of the world for Complexity, right? You had 1 pistol upgrade in that round, and everyone else was on Glocks, as you say. So, you know, it was optimistic to assume they were going to achieve anything. And now this buy comes on through for Complexity. This is where they're going to look to bring the heat.
Yeah, it's now or never. No AWP, but can't really rely on that anymore as JW is popping off. Ooh, so misutil blocked by Golden in the window. That's going to keep the smoke out and gives Fnatic free reign over the middle area. JW falling back, and he gets caught, and that Molotov gives away Flusher's position. No one looks, no one even cares, and maybe they should have, because Flusher's got them all as they fall down the ladder. Flusher finding 3. And, well, that might just be the round. Blame, he doesn't want to concede it. He doesn't want to admit it. And a quick kill onto Golden might just be what sends him out of this one. He has all the time in the world. So if you Blame, you know, before you even think about the save, you want to think about doing some damage here and trying to look for kills elsewhere. He's run all the way around through B. He knows this is going to be open because Fnatic are playing that bomb, but now the time is gone. Fnatic know it, and they've set up to deal with something like this. Crims is in spawn in a nice off position, and something that Blame certainly shouldn't expect.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. You try and out-goblin the Goblin King back here in CT spawn, and it just don't happen, does it? Crim's going to shut him down on that rotate, on that long flank. And so Fnatic, they get 7 on the board. Flusher doing so much damage here from under Palace. Just lighten them up. And then even dealing with the man down the ladder. I mean, Flusher, it's just despicable. It's just gross. 7 on the board, and once again, back down to pistols for complexity. Move on over towards the apartments early on. With just Rush alone down at ramp and players here in mid. Maybe going to attempt a bit of a B split here. You take a look at the utility, right? And with smokes on config and poison over here in mid, they could smoke connector, they could smoke window. But actually, it looks like instead they're going to try and get out towards middle. Maybe take some window control away from Fnatic. Smoke it off. JW's on the other side. Oh, JW, come on, man. This isn't COD. He's trying to land the little jump shots. Now, Blame F is going to dig down Crims in the meantime. JW's been waiting patiently for this smoke to fade, and eventually he will get his wish. The rest of Complexity get flashed out. They run through this smoke and into the maws of Flusher, who mows them all down. Dig out is bested by Rush, and this is going to allow a plant at the A bomb site. Poison's still holding down mid, trying to deny these rotations, and even if he gets 1 kill before getting traded, he's done enough. It's Brolin's flank in through ramp that should have this round dead to rights. Rush hasn't gone for the bomb plant yet. He doesn't know where all of these CT players are, so he's held off for that. And this has given Brolin's flank more and more time to find effect. So Poison, now in the 1v3, he'll get snuffed out as well. Fnatic 8 on the board, and this is a very, very one-sided start to Mirage.
Yeah, it almost felt like Brolin, you know, pushing early on that flank before the plant could have been a problem. There's a world where Rush, you know, is holding the right angle. He was just hitting timings on looking at the left and right of his screen. So if he's holding that ramp position, there's a world where suddenly it's a 2-on-2 and Complexity can plant. But yeah, nice work from Brolin. Doesn't have an issue with getting the bomb off the site. And Fnatic just keep up this streak of rounds. They went 3-0 up. Complexity found 3 in a row. Fnatic have slaughtered them ever since. Down in lower is Crims. He's dropped the first man. Going to swing. Crims with a double. And Fnatic are all over the scoreboard right now. Oh dear. Golden's even going to try his hand as well. Finds a single kill. And even with the trade, Fnatic are just continuing to push the perimeter. Poison finds a couple, but not going to get out of there alive. And the bomb's dropped to the top of middle with Rush alone. He walks into the orb. Fnatic, they look so comfortable right now. Maybe on a 5-loss streak on Mirage, but they are eating up Complexity like it's breakfast.
Yeah, it's scary, right? Because you can see that they're getting more and more confident. Like, they were so willing to take these fights. They send Crims on what should have been a little suicide mission down into the lower tunnels, and then he comes out swinging, and he actually just secures that round almost single-handedly, winning out that double kill down in the lower tunnels and just splitting this play from Complexity in 2. So now, once again, I feel like I've said this phrase so many times, it's back to pistols for Complexity. There's nothing else for them in this round. They're going to try and just throw these standard A smokes. It's a standard set piece into the A site early on, but they're not going to commit with it. They haven't gone pushing through. Instead, they just hold their ground, and they actually rotate the bomb back through T spawn. So trying to force a rotation from Fnatic over towards A early on. And you'll see that like they throw in all that utility, and now they put the players back on that A site that still have utility left to throw in a second wave. And this is to really like solidify in Fnatic's mind that it is the A play. They throw the first set in, and now they go again, and this is where they're hoping Fnatic go, yeah, it's A, it's got to be. They've just done 2 sets of utility into this bomb site, and they do start to pull players around on rotation. So this strategy, even though Complexity are losing players, the whole object here was to get this bomb down in B and to set up for the post plant. They get the bomb planted here, but can they hold the line?
I think they definitely wanted some kills, though, and a chance to win this round, right? And the fact that Crims gets a double on A has really made things rough. Poison's so low on that late rotate, and he is too far away. Fnatic, they push now. They just have a 5-on-2 that they surely will win. They've already got one, and Config, he's had some big deep moments, but this will not be one of them. Talking about Poison, late from the A site, he won't even play into this one, as Fnatic have already stuck defuse 10 rounds. And yeah, really nice reaction from Fnatic. I do like the idea there for Cole. The call is good, but yeah, the second that you lose those opening 2 fights on A, you know, even though you get the plant, the round is lost. And yeah, you know, nice try either way. It's an eco strat, but Cole, they invested more than they get out of that one. So it's not like they really are winners in any way, but they do at least have a buy here. 2 rounds left of the half. Cole, they would love 5, but Fnatic, do they want to give it away that easily?
Crims got team knifed at the beginning of this round. And so that to me suggests that Fnatic's knives are itching for blood. Let's see if we can have any of those little knife kills come through. Complexity is setting up for a B play. And they're not really leaving much to the imagination in this one. They are just looking to break down this B defense. However, Brolin and Crims over at this side of the map, they've been able to stand the test of time whenever these players have come through. And with the early utility coming in from Fnatic, that's enough to send Complexity away. They abandoned the hopes of getting into B. And now look to take mid control. And the timing. Ooh, all right. Obo puts the shot through the smoke and just deletes Brolin. They never even see each other. Quite a way to steal the man advantage in this round. And Complexity now, they're kind of reinvigorated. They're like, right, let's go B. Screw it. You know, Obo's got the kill. He's delivered. And now we have to just finish what he started.
Yeah, and luckily Fnatic haven't moved at all. They've if anything, pushed further into the A site from CT, and that's going to make this rotate even longer. If Crims doesn't get, I'd say 2 kills here, you know, this is a done round. Fnatic won't even rotate. So Crims, he needs to put up a fight here if they want to win this one. Finding Obo, and now the rotations begin. Crims is giving Fnatic a reason to consider this B site, but Config quickly fires back through the smoke. That Molotov, it's going to be good, but it will be late. Config gets off the plant, and it won't do a thing. He gets tagged on the cross, but Fnatic are already starting to move in. The boost up on Catwalk. Blame is close. He hears the scope, but Golden swings, and he will miss. JW needs to hit this shot with the pistol, and he's done that at least. Now onto him and Flusher. Config's pushing close towards market as well. Timing is everything for this play from Flusher, and I think he might have just missed it, getting shot in the back of the head, and Config has just won this round dead to rights. JW can't escape from the orb on short, and that's Complexity. Actually finding 4. A lot of that coming off the back of Obo's opening kill, right? And Crims even puts up 2 in the site, so you can't really ask for more for Crims, and yeah, great round either way for Complexity. Looking for that 5 rounds at the end of the half. It may be attainable after all.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Every one of these maps has felt like it's gotten off to a similar start with just one team coming in swinging, getting off to a great start, and then that kind of comeback happening in the second half. So let's see if that continues here. Complexity trying to salvage 5 at the end of the first half of play, but JW already opening this round up with 1. He's looking for a little bit more. Is he going to be ready for the man that is Blame F waiting down in this con smoke? He's creeping up, but he gets past the players in con. However, JW and Crims make quick work of this con split, leaving it onto these players at ramp, leaving it onto Obo in a 1v3. And the bomb is dropped back at ramp. Obo can't even commit into this bomb site yet. He has to go back and get that package. So, minute and 5 seconds left. He does still have plenty of time to work with. He'll retrieve this bomb, and now starting to look back into this A site for any sort of glimmer of hope. JW's pushed up close with this AWP and is already on quite the tear in this round. Obo, is he going to be ready for a man close up on Palace? JW just throwing caution to the wind. And JW's just here as a failsafe now, right? Like, even if Obo deals with Brolin back in jungle, the moment he tries to plant this bomb, the round is surely over. And it's all thanks to JW's position in the palace. Obo looks like he has absolutely no idea of this, and JW's thinking, like, how can I get a knife kill out of this? Because he's spotted him, he's waiting, and he's going to wait for the bomb flash. JW, there it is, hopping down. Oh, no! Oh, no! Obo gets the kill. JW's knife betrays him, and now Obo in a 1v2. This cannot be how the round falls apart. Surely not. And the wrap coming in from Golden will solidify an 11th for Fnatic. Ooh, JW. Oh, he gives and he takes away. That blade needs a little bit more studying. It's 11 on the board for Fnatic regardless, and this first half has been so great. The second half about to be underway. You're going to have to bear with us because it's going to come up after a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Ain't I mistaken? I've been here before. All my body is aching, shaking to the core. Wherever you go is a heaven, 7/24. Now don't go be misbehaving, but I'm craving a little more. Can't keep my thoughts inside, don't want no place to hide. Can't get you off my mind, all night and day. You always played it cool, oh, but I ain't no fool. I know you feel it too, so what do you say? Well, I'ma give it a try, baby. Don't let the summer go by, baby. No, I don't wanna say goodbye, baby. Maybe we should give it a try. Why don't we give it a try? Ain't no mistaken, I'm taken with you. All my body is aching, awaken anew. Oh, I think I'm in heaven it's true. Now don't go misbehaving, but I'm caving over you. Oh, can't keep my thoughts inside, don't want no place to hide. Can't get you off my mind, all night and day. Yeah, always playing it cool, oh, but I ain't no fool. I know you feel it too, so what do you say? Well, I'ma give it a try, baby. Don't let the summer go by, baby. No, I don't wanna say goodbye, baby. Maybe we should give it a try. I wanna think about every time you look at my way. I wanna make the most of this high, I wanna talk about every time you wanted to stay. I wanna make the most of this.
A pretty good half for Fnatic. JW might need to get some sharpeners for his knife there. Doesn't really do it justice onto Obo, but it's still a fantastic first half for Fnatic. The Swedes up 11-4 in the third map of the series, and boy, Betway have had enough of complexity. Have Fnatic as well, we'll see. They're going to try and take him out of this series, take him out of the server, and most importantly, knock him out in the lower bracket of these playoffs. This is, of course, the last week of DreamHack Masters Spring 2020, and we're in Europe. Surprise, surprise. Complexity flown all the way over. And living in Denmark, at least the two North Americans are, along with the Danes.
Oh, look at this. Well, maybe we don't look at that. Maybe we look away. JW gets mopped up on his little window aggression. And the bomb plant has come in for Fnatic regardless. It's a 5-on-4 retake at the A bomb site. Now, you're probably watching thinking, is this a retake server? It certainly looks like one. Fnatic are going to have to try and stand the test of time, and Crims is all the way over at Catwalk waiting for rotations that are never going to arrive. Instead, it's everyone in the A site. They're just grouped up, they're huddled together, and Flusher trying to stand the test of time, can't quite manage it. It does all fall onto Crims, and as we mentioned earlier, he was over at the Catwalk. They have a kit, they're on the bomb. Crims can't find the killing blow, and he will get it after time. The defuse has already come through. Complexity, they're going to take a 5th here to begin their CT half. They get that pistol round in the bag. Fnatic, they're going to make the decision to force buy here, Hugo.
They are indeed, Harry. Sorry, I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, Crims, that's such a shame. He kills Config after the defuse, but Config was 10 health on the defuse the entire time. Crims just didn't want to peek early because he didn't want to go down. He wanted to actually play the bomb, but little does he know the smoke is down, and Complexity with some good util on the retake. This force is pretty damn good. Fnatic, I mean, 5 Galils. Not every day you see it, but considering, you know, the money, let's see what they can do with it. Moving back towards A. 2 smokes is all Fnatic can muster in this round. Complexity, they have over under the Palace, Poison supporting with the Scout, and Blame in the Connector. So, bit of a hefty setup here on this A site. Fnatic, no flashes to force this Scout back. Poison is going to be able to take these fights easy as anything.
Whoop. There's one. Oh, not the second note. And Obo gets spammed out of the round. Oh, dearie me. JW's Galil is not a bit of a tear. He finds another. And these smokes, do they even render for Fnatic? They just remove everyone through the jungle smoke. It's all onto Rush. And he's going to need some smoke and mirrors of his own if he wants to pull a bit of magic out in this round. They're closing the distance. The MP9 doesn't best Golden in the head-to-head. And Fnatic, they've stolen that round away. They put a 12th on the board, and Complexity now having to respond with a force buy of their own. But if you're Complexity, this was the last thing you ever wanted to happen in this game. You didn't want to have these force buy wars back and forth, especially not with the bomb plant going in favor of Fnatic early on. Their money's great, right? And they keep a lot of players alive in that round. So it's like, for Complexity, even if they win this one, it's not guaranteed that they can keep chaining these together. The force buys are sure to continue, and they're going to be good for Fnatic. JW shuts down Blame F early on. Man advantage taken now for the Swedes. And Complexity left in this 4-on-5 in a very important force buy round. If they let this one slip by the wayside, right, it's 13-5 for Fnatic, and Eco would have to come through for Complexity. And at that point, right, realistic, you're looking at like a 14-5 scoreline before Complexity have their first full buy.
Yeah, that pistol was basically the saving grace, right? It was keeping Complexity in this series, but, you know, it doesn't really hold any weight when you lose the round after it. And that has been all we've had all series long, Harry, for both teams, especially Fnatic, though, right? Losing pistols and winning force buys. It is just all too easy at this point. A man up, rather, in this round. Flames down early. Fnatic moving into mid at the 50-second mark. They've taken their time just to make sure that they dot their I's, cross their T's, and clear every corner. Fnatic going to move up towards A with that ramp split. There's no one here to stop them. Poison is watching from triple with a man in the Palace. It's a great shot. Is it going to be enough, though? Brolin spotted the Palace player. Obo down. He's going to be there for the post plant. Now he won't even play into the round. Poison's been found as well. Rush has got the bomb. That's massive. He's going to try and hold on to it with the CZ-75. Finding a gun. That's an AK, but he is alone. Still with a package at his feet. Can he put a stop to the Swedes? They need the kill, and Rush doubles up, but he can't find a third. Nice try from Rush. Did the best of what he had there, but obviously an eco round, and Fnatic just chase him down. Rush has had a rough game. I think the individuals from Complexity certainly have, just generally, right? Like Config, Poison, Rush, none of these players above double digits coming into that round at least. And yeah, this might be it, Harry. You called it yourself. You said 14-5 before Complexity have their first 4-buy round, and well, that looks more likely than ever.
Yeah, something would have to go very, very wrong for Fnatic in this round for Complexity to find anything. And
look at Flusher.
They throw in all like this fake util right at the A site, and that's just going to keep this stack for Complexity here even longer. Flusher's gone in with a bit of a classic as well. He's Glock armor in this round. So let's see, it's pistols on pistols. Flusher is giving them a somewhat even fight at the A side of the map. And while all this is going on, while Flusher is selling this fake, the bomb goes down at B.
The reason I
Flushed
love
it.
this is it's such like a BM, like it's just not even necessary, is it? Like he could buy a PC50 for $300 and then he could be absolutely fine no matter what happens. But like this is just trolling at this point and it's working.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know you could hide there. Like Flush is hidden in this little corner and Obo has actually dealt with both players back in T-Spawn. But they don't want to let him get away with the M4. Brolin is like, no, it's not happening. I'm hunting you guys down. And he doesn't really want to risk giving a gun over, but that's not what he's going to do. He shuts down Obo and looking now to follow up. We'll get them both. So Fnatic 14-5, and now this investment comes in. Poison can get an AWP as well, but it's going to be glass cannon. And I don't know, man, with how fast Fnatic like to play, that's a pretty scary prospect to not have the armor behind you.
Yeah, certainly. I think at this point, right, you know, you're not even really thinking about that. You just want your weapon. You want the gun that you know has brought you this far. So yeah, Poison doesn't even consider it. Just goes straight for the orb and takes it into window. Fnatic nades towards connector. I don't know if they were meant to miss, but none of them land in con. They all land outside. So maybe by design, looking for an aggressive CT player. There are some though. Poison's got a kill. Config's pushed Cap, but he's been picked up through the smoke. And Crimson's going to flash his teammates into the connector as well. JW's already out through lower. Golden looking for this. The AWP draws his attention, and it will for good reason. Poison gets that kill. Obo, a second chance at life, but maybe not, as he doesn't know JW's here. He turns, and that will be his demise. Rush up from Catwalk late to the party, here to blow out some birthday candles, but dear, oh dear, it's a windy day for Fnatic. They're going to find it anyway, 15-5. And is there any stopping this team? Probably not. No rounds lost since the pistol in this half. And Fnatic probably just going to break this 5-loss streak like it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, what loss streak, right? That's what Fnatic is doing right now. They are, they've really shown up. Oh, Brolin didn't see the man in bottom mid somehow, some way, but it's not really anything they're worried about. Brolin and Flusher keep this in the advantage of Fnatic. Flame is sick and tired of waiting around, and he's pushing the extremities of this map. He deals with Crims as well. Golden and Flusher left in this 2-on-3, and they're going to group up outside of the A site, try and move in. Now, Complexity don't have anyone here. They are all in mid as of right now, and so this bomb plant can come through. Golden gonna have to plant safe, but you know, while this is a safe plant, also it's planted for Palace, and that's where Flusher resides right about now. So not the end of the world for Fnatic here. Still a good chance to find something. It's this utility that could really do damage. It's going to force Golden out of position, but no one was nearby to actually peek off the back of it. Golden, good for one, but that's all. And the defuse is going to come on in. Complexity to get themselves a 6th. They're able to keep their head above water. But is that enough to see them through? I mean, you know, comeback has to start somewhere. But it's got to be one hell of a comeback. That's the only problem right now. You've got to go 9 in a row to take this one to OT.
Yeah, that's not an easy reality, is it? That missed smoke from Flusher almost looked like it could have, you know, actually provided benefits to Fnatic. It covered the cross, so Complexity didn't know if there was anyone CT, but they moved so fast from middle into con that they just group as a team and trade their way to a win. So not really a worry. Poison has armor behind his orb, which is great. Blade makes the jump, but he gets legged in the process. How does that shot not slow him down? I don't know. But he still gets up on the catwalk, and we'll just go for, well, it's actually Config going for the long rotation, leaving B and swapping with Blame. It's the right call, because it is an A play. Fnatic are moving quickly, and Obo is here alone, calling for support. And Molly and Triple will end his life, but a bullet will do it first. Flusher smoking the Molotov to get out the Palace, and he's pushed the AWP down low. He'll finish their job, and they might just finish the map. 2 players left in the wings here. Blame giving it a go, good damage, but it's a trade immediately from Flusher. And with 2 low HP players, Rush has a chance.
Yeah, it's not the biggest chance in the world, but that nade removing Brolin has certainly helped. This 1v2 available, and Flusher very, very low is all the way back in CT. Now, there's a timing where Rush can find this 1v1, but he's none the wiser.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Flusher going for the knife, and there it is. The map gets locked in for Fnatic. And my word, what a way to take it. What a way to get this series over the line, send Complexity home, and keep the journey going for the side of Fnatic. Flusher, what a man. I can't believe that. I'm here live at the scene of the crime, Hugo. We just saw the knife went down here. And yeah, it's a mess. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath, Harry, over on Mirage. I mean, the knives out for Fnatic. They pull out one in every map of the series, I think. So that's exactly kind of what we wanted here, showing up in a big way. And that's Fnatic knocking Complexity out. It's a sad story for Cole, but I think it's kind of what a lot of us wanted in terms of Fnatic showing up, right? They start the year so strong, they fall right off a cliff. It felt like drowning in the depths of the ocean, and now they're trying to pull themselves back up to that top spot. We know they can do it, and we're going to have to wait and see how they fare in the rest of the playoffs. For now, though, we take a quick break. The analyst desk comes back on, and we have more Counter-Strike coming around the corner at a very fast speed. So stick around, and we'll be back soon.
Look around you, they said. You never really quite know when you might get knifed by Fnatic, they said. Well, in this instance, it's going to be a 2-1 in Fnatic's favor. The Swedes are going to find success in this lower bracket. They're going to continue to march on. They're going to get another shot at this DreamHack Masters Spring 2020 trophy. Meanwhile, for Complexity, this is the end of the road. The Juggernaut has been stopped. And of course, for Complexity, we talk about the capital L in their names, but the only L I'm seeing around here today is them being eliminated from the tournament. Welcome back, everybody, to the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. I'm Trace, we have Christine, we have Matthew, we're ready to talk some counter with you.
Yeah,
that was a nice call. Okay,
that was a nice call.
Yeah, it was.
Man, what a frustrating series for Complexity to have to deal with. You just mentioned it, Trace. The amount of flanks that Fnatic, the individuals were finding on a consistent basis. It was either a breakdown in communication for Complexity, or it was Fnatic just doing Fnatic things. And I gotta lean towards that fact. It's just Fnatic. They absolutely look comfortable on this Mirage, which is not something where we could have said actually just even 2 weeks ago. So certainly this bootcamp is paying off huge dividends for these Fnatic guys. You can absolutely see that they're just confident in their movements across the map. At no point did it seem like Fnatic looked like they were questioning anything. I mean, even Flusha rushing out A ramp with a Glock armor, just feeding intel, feeding information over to his mates and just saying, hey, we got this in the bag. So just, I appreciated the confidence coming out of Fnatic, but my gosh, what a frustrating match for Complexity.
And you know, Maniac, I look at this, and if you're, your Crims, you're on the pistol round on your Mirage in the second half, and you're like, wow, I saw the defuse. No, I didn't. This is going to go on just a little bit longer. 16-6, how it ends up. Talk to me about what we saw with the Swedes.
Well, unfortunately for Complexity, this was the full package exclusive premium platinum Fnatic experience. Welcome to the show. This is how it works out. After the first half, everyone was in double digit on Fnatic's side. Everyone above 80 ADR at the end of the game. Everyone positive in terms of entry kills. So there is virtually no weakness in that lineup in that game. There's almost, I feel almost bad for Complexity because they're not a bad team on Mirage, not by any stretch of imagination, but they just got outclassed. Everyone on the side of Fnatic was one step ahead, and in Counter-Strike, sometimes it's just about shooting in the head.
Yeah, actually, it is that simple. We're going to bring in our first caller, and I do believe it's going to be from the Complexity side. It's going to be Rush, set up with a rather nice camera to go along with what certainly doesn't feel too great. Rush, how you feeling over there, buddy?
Yeah, obviously not too good after an L. Never feel good after an L.
Never. Now, let's look at it a little bit further then, because you come in today, you have a little bit of time here, but you guys have amassed quite a bit of success over the run up to this point. And I'm talking about the Home Sweet Home Cups. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it success. It's definitely a good confidence boost and it's good practice, but we didn't really beat that many top tier teams in the tournaments besides maybe like Big and Heroic. I think those were two big wins, but I think it's nice definitely win these tournaments. But I think if I could trade like all four for just this one, I'd probably want to have this one, honestly, just so we could go further in this tournament and just play more top 10 teams.
Now, Rush, I was actually curious. It seemed like your communication was either lacking today or there was just a lot of chaos within that server in this series. There was even a round where Poison, going back to Nuke, I believe the score was 15-12. He got fully bum rushed by a CZ rush at ramp, and he was completely caught off guard, and it just seemed like it was maybe a lot of talking in the freeze time that caught him off guard, or something weird was going on. Did you guys feel that within the server? Did it reflect, or...
I don't know about that round in particular. I know what you're talking about, but I don't think comms are bad that round. But I think in general, we were definitely like not necessarily more stress, but I think that we did make a lot of mistakes in terms of some people didn't know the right smoke, so people had to scramble to like to throw the smoke for them, so then it kind of ruined the strats a bit. So I think that happened a lot today, where people had to like fill in rolls, and that's never good when you're trying to have a nice fluid round. So I think that added a layer to us losing, but I think generally speaking, our communication is always pretty good, but maybe it was a little worse today.
I just want to go back to Home Sweet Home for a second, because I had the pleasure to cast you when you were playing this game and you destroyed pretty much everyone. Can you explain just a little bit for the viewers how it feels different destroying everyone in Home Sweet Home than playing versus Fnatic? Is it a whole different world? Is it close?
I think we had a good chance for Fnatic, obviously not on Mirage, but obviously like on Train it was pretty close. We were making a comeback, obviously won Nuke. But on the last map, it wasn't that close, and I think Mirage is typically a map that we're strong on, so it's strange for us. Maybe we got into a little too much of a comfort zone playing these lower tier teams. So yeah, definitely got a little blindsided on Mirage. Fnatic plays different than other teams, though. They play a lot more off feel. It's not really a team you can anti-strat that well, because they just kind of do what they want and they play off each other. So you kind of have to play your own game versus them most of the time. Even though we definitely try to anti-strat them, we try to play our own game as well, and obviously it didn't work out that well for us. But yeah, we just can't get too comfortable playing these lower tier teams, I guess, or teams that are more on our level.
So let me ask you this, Will. What do you have coming up next? What's the game plan currently for you? We know that you're in Europe. We know that you're calling Denmark, I guess, home for now if you want to. What is the big overall goal for Complexity moving forward?
Actually, without going into too many details, I'll just say that Denmark's actually going to be our home for only one more day. Tomorrow, we have to go to, we're going to Serbia because we ran out of our tourist visa here. We've been here for almost 90 days now, so we have to leave. So we're taking a plane and going to Serbia tomorrow. And then we're going to be playing from there for the remainder of the next month until the player break, basically. We have Blast Finals coming up. That's going to be one of the biggest ones for us. We also have, CS Summit, the first stage of it. That's the RMR tournament. Those are the last two for us, so we're going to practice hard and make sure we give it our all and hopefully have some better wins than we had today.
Now, I can imagine you guys are flying private, right?
We actually are. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be looking for the stories on that.
It's a charter, so it's not like, it's pretty. It's nice though. I think Complexity really hooked us up for a nice, comfortable
Keep that
flight.
flex, Rush. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Maybe we don't deserve after today though.
Nah. You guys are still putting NA pride on your back, even though it's just you and pretty much Obo over there defending it. Now, I just want to say commiserations. I want to get you out of here. I know you got a lot to do, probably to pack up. So thank you for your time. Also, I know a Serb or two, and they're pretty good people. So be nice to them over there. Shout out Yanko.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. So that's Rush, and we're going to rush him out of here. We have just a few more interviews coming up your way. But for the time being, what are you two even thinking about what he's just told us? Yes, they have a little bit of moving going on in the background, but overall, a loss is a loss.
Yeah, it is. And just I like the part where you cannot anti-strat Fnatic, because it actually is. And it's one of these silly stereotypes you use, but there are a few teams who actually don't go in with set rounds all the time. They just basically play Counter-Strike like Tetris with blocks and then try and build strategies. They see what's happening in the round and then they decide. So when it works, it looks like unstoppable. When it doesn't work, you can criticize the style. But today, unfortunately for Complexity, it was a very good day for Fnatic.
Yeah, speaking of Fnatic, we're actually going to get that opportunity now to talk to Brolin, one of the staples of this Fnatic lineup now, even going in for a few knife kills himself, it seems. Have you changed your standpoint on that a little bit, buddy?
I mean, not really, but I got the moments when I had the 3 kills with knife, so yeah, I go for it. So.
Speaking of your knife kills, I wanted to know on that ramp, I mean, there was a moment where you were kind of wondering whether you should go for it or not, and then you eventually went for that knife. Was that your teammates whispering in your ear, go for the knife, or was that your own decision?
I think I heard someone jumping like over the door, so he jumped like 5 times, so I just went for the knife and got him. So yeah, it was 1v5, so I couldn't win that round, so yeah.
I was going to ask you, obviously you had a tough time to transition from offline to online, has been a little bit difficult. How would you rate your team right now? How do you feel? Are you on a good way? Is it a good situation?
Can you repeat that again?
No, I mean, how do you feel right now with the team? Because the transition offline to online wasn't maybe easy, but is it now you feel good in the team, the results, the level?
I mean, I feel it's okay. I mean, we could have been playing better this couple of weeks, but I think our first tournament in, I think it was ASF Pro League that we won, we did not feel we of course we felt the online part of CS, but I mean, since like 1 month back, we have been like talking about how we're gonna play online besides LAN, because it's some situations that you can't play as the same at LAN. But we're trying to, like for example, now we're trying to like fix that on the bootcamp and be together, and I think that's more comfortable with us, that be together with the team and play these online matches.
Christine, did you have something for the man?
Yeah, I have one more question actually. Speaking of your boot camp, I mean, we could absolutely see a huge difference as your performance, even individually in the server this week as opposed to a week and a half ago. Have you guys felt that as well as a squad? And what's the biggest difference that you can take away in this past week versus 2 weeks ago?
I think we're more of excitement when we play, especially when we'll have like these fist bumps and stuff. I think that motivates us a lot, and I think that's more part of the reason that we went to this bootcamp. And I mean, the results have not been that good, but they have been better for us since 3 weeks ago. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, and for the time being, you guys are going to get the chance to stay alive here. You're actually going to be playing the winner of our next matchup. Lo and behold, you guys are in the lower bracket. So you play the winner of Mad Lions and Spirit. Which one of them do you not want to play?
No one.
No one. Just take them all. Okay.
I mean, I have no idea. They have some players that are really good individually, and I mean, they are like, especially the whole team are good individually players. So I think they are. I mean, they're both a good team, so it doesn't matter who I'm facing.
Cool. Well, we can leave it on that note, and I can leave you with the opportunity. You want to give any shout-outs, say hello to anyone back home, mom, pop, anybody?
Nah, not really. I will say to the fans that thanks for supporting us, since we maybe not have the best results lately. But thank you.
Yeah, cool, Brolin. Appreciate your time, man. We're going to get you out of here. Thank you so much. And we're going to continue the show. That is DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. We're in the playoff realms. Thank you to both Rush. And I guess, well, really, when we hear from both sides, on the Fnatic side with Brolin, you look at this and you think, okay, there are just two teams in two totally different spots.
Yeah,
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
Definitely so. And I think Hugo said it perfectly in that series. He said that the Fnatic confidence is kind of bleeding into Brolin, and you can start seeing his flair within that server, and you absolutely saw it. And it's really good to see such a youngster just kind of finding his sweet spot, finding that comfort zone within the squad, within the system that they're building. And I mean, you could absolutely see it. Brolin, he's just a monster within that server, and he's just going for more and more. So it's pretty exciting to see.
Yes, it is. Especially exciting is considering that the tournament is nowhere near concluded. We're not even close to the finish line yet, but we are starting to knock some names off of the roster that is known as the brackets. We can take a look at those and see how the playoffs are starting to shape up. Now that we move one team forward in the lower bracket portion, that's going to be Fnatic. They're going to get one step closer, but still such a long route for any of these teams.
Yeah, it truly is. And, you know, when Brolin says he doesn't really care who he plays against, well, I'll probably try to avoid Mad Lions because they've been looking really great right now.
Yeah, but also I love it when you play guitar. We're going to be going to a break. We come back. We're going to have Mad Lions taking on Team Spirit right here at the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. See ya.